This is last time. Hi,
Mhm.
good afternoon, everyone. Finally, we are coming to the end of this bootcamp. So, welcome to today's session. Our last session was about linking your front end to your contract, but we couldn't wrap it up, so we're continuing from there today. So, our facilitator, Miss Glory, will be in charge of that. So,
All right, so welcome back, everyone. And I think this has been a beautiful ride all this while. So we've been doing a lot of things from learning what the blockchain is to getting to the point where we're able to write some smart contracts in Solidity. And then now we're at the point where we want to bring these two things together, like our front end and our smart contracts. So in the last class, I was walking you through some of the terminologies that you come across in this space, like DeFi and many other things. And then we also look at testing, like how to write some unit tests for your smart contract because security is of utmost priority when dealing with blockchain and smart contracts and all of that. So in this particular session, I'm going to be taking you through how we can bring whatever it is we have written as a smart contracts in Remis, bringing it down to VS Code because when you're going to be working in real applications, you most likely will be using your test editor, which is VS Code. So, like I said in the other class, I personally like to write my smart contracts using Remis and then bringing it down to the VS Code. Um, Based on your own preference, you can decide to write the smart contract right in VS Code. So it stays the same thing. And then once you are done, you deploy it. So Remix has everything already embedded in it. So that's why all we need to do in Remix is just write smart contracts and then click a button to compile and deploy. But when working on VS Code, there are some commands that you need to run especially based on which of the framework you are using. If you are using Hardhat, you have to follow their documentation to know the steps and what you need to do to compile your smart contract, what you need to do to deploy the smart contract. So some of those things is what we're going to be doing in this video. And then we'll be having a quick UI. I'm going to be using Next.js for that. So this might be a long video, it depends. I hope we don't have bug along the way, but if we do, get ready for that because we are going to be debugging all of those things right here in this video because I'm starting everything from scratch. The reason I'm doing is just moving the smart contract we wrote in the last class and then taking it down to VS Code and following the steps from Hardhat to um, compiling and deploying and checking our Explorer and even funding our Sepolia wallet. So we're going to be using Sepolia testnet. So I'm going to show you everything like I normally do my work when I'm starting a new project. So I'll be doing it and you'll be seeing everything I'm doing. We are going to be making reference to the documentations where necessary. And yeah, so um let me not talk too much. So let me just dive right into it. Okay, let me start by sharing my screen. Okay, I think I'll just share this entire screen so that you can see my VS Code. I believe you can see my VS Code and this other side of the screen because there are some things I'll be doing on this side of the browser as well. Hope it's not tiny. You can see my VS Code and you can see this other side of the screen. So Dami, you let me know please
yeah,
if everything is good.
yeah, you can see the US football. The other side of the screen, I think that's time.
Yeah, so I need to. So the first thing we want to do, first is to go to Hardhat. We are going to be making use of Hardhat, and then so the procedure for that is for you to So once you have your project, Assuming we have created our project, we could call it hello world. I don't know if this is actually clear enough. If it's not clear enough, let me know so that I probably just share individual screen. This terminal, are you seeing it clearly?
No, not clear. You
It's not
can,
clear.
yeah, probably
Yeah.
maximize the
O-
screen.
Okay, let me do individual sharing then. Let me just stop and share. Mm,
Yeah.
so now the only thing you're saying is this my terminal, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
just
So,
a
so
few.
this this is what it's showing. Okay, let's see how that goes. So now what I want to do is I wanted you guys to be able to see what how I'm following the adult documentation to do this. So but then once you okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sit into my projects. I have a directory where I do all things projects. So I'm going to create a directory for this hello world class. So let me see into the hello world class. And then so the next thing I want to do is to copy this command from Hardhat documentation, npm init dash y. So this is going to create an npm project for us. And then the next thing I want to do is to install Hardhat. To install Hardhat. So that's the command for installing Hardhat in your system or in your project, so to speak. So you do npm install that save dev Hardhat, and then let's wait for it to install. So that shouldn't really take long. So once that is done, it's still installing. So basically with Hardhat, they have different templates. They have JavaScript, TypeScript, and TypeScript with Vim. So depending on the template you want, you are going to select it. So once this section finish, that's the next thing that we are going to see for us to select the templates that we want to make use of. And then it comes with some other things. So once the installation completes, I'm just going to walk you through what that looks like or all the files that comes alongside with it. Okay, fine. So this just finished installing now. I hope I did everything correctly. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what I just did now is to install Hardhat inside the project. So now we are going to initialize Hardhat. That's the next thing we are going to do now, which is npms Hardhat init. So first of all, the procedure is for you to create a node project by doing npm init dash y. That's we automatically like set up the node project for you if you don't want to be answering question one after the other. And then the next thing to do is to install Hardhat. So you can install it globally on your system if you want, but the installation we did just now was to install it on the project. So we did npm install dash dash save to dev Hardhat. So now we now have Hardhat in our project, and because we have installed Hardhat, we can now write this command npm Hardhat in it. So we want to initialize Hardhat in this project. So when you do this, you will see this Hardhat flag, and then we can now select the templates that we want, whether or not we want JavaScript or TypeScript or TypeScript with Vim. Create an empty Hardhat config.js. So you could create an empty one where there's most likely it's going to be empty. There won't be any example projects on it. So for starters, it would be good for you to like know what it looks like if with an already made template, and then you just walk through the files, and then you can also create your own insights. So I'm going to select TypeScript because I work mostly with TypeScript. So and then do you want to add git ignore? Yes. And do you want to install these sample project dependencies with yes? So we install all the necessary libraries that are going to need when working with Hardhat. So let's wait for that installation to complete. So once that is completed, I'm going to open the project on VS Code, and then we'll see. Okay, so that's completed. Let's open this with VS Code. So are you seeing my VS Code? Let me know if the VS Code is visible.
No, not at the moment.
So what are you seeing currently?
Still a terminal.
I just closed the terminal. Oh,
Okay,
okay, I
still a terminal.
probably have to reshare. Okay, so let me reshare. I guess we most likely are going to be here for a while
Okay.
on this particular VS Code. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So now that we are here, let me walk you through what this TypeScript template comes with. So once you create an Hardhat project, it comes with a contract directory, it comes with this ignition, and it comes with this node module, it comes with this test file, and this is the regular package.json. So here you see all the things that we installed. This is the one we installed when we said yes, and this is the Hardhat we initially installed. And let me go back up. This is like TS config to avoid any TypeScript related issues when trying to run the projects. And this is just a basic readme of the templates. And okay, so let me move up. So this is it's a sample. Let me increase this a bit. I guess this is clear enough. So this is a sample um smart contract that came with the template. So assuming this is your first time setting up Hardhat, you see it comes with a sample contract, and then with this contract you can learn some things from it where that you can use in your own code. So since we already wrote our contract in the last class, I'm just going to get that contract now, and then um, create a file for it inside our VS Code and paste it there. So what I'm going to do now is inside this contract directory. So any contract you want to write, you write them inside the contract directory. So if you know you're not going to need this, you can delete it. So and you can leave it. Now, if you delete it, there are other files you will need to go and delete. So you need to be mindful of that. So you have to delete this. You have to delete this lock.ts file. So this lock.ts file is the deployment, is the test file. Okay, these are under test. So this is the test file for that particular contract. So this will tell you that testing is very important in every contract that we write. So that's the reason why even these templates came with a sample smart contract, and it also came with a sample tests alongside with it. So this is the sample test file for it. So like I said, if you're going to delete this, you're also going to delete this because it's going to give you issue when you can't find these smart contracts and the test is still here. So for now, I'll just leave it. Maybe later I can decide to delete it. So all we just do now is to create our hello world, um, hello world or so. So this is our contract, the one we created in VS Code before. I just brought it here. So let me see. Okay. I can increase it to 28 because it's like the compiler is set to this to 28. So now this is our contract, the one we did in the last class. So we can also decide to move our test. We already have our test. I hope nothing changes. So this is our test file. We can move the test here. Inside under this test directory, we create our own file called hello world .ts. Okay, so we might have some issues here because I think this test, well, it might not really give us any issue, sha. Because this test, I did it in JavaScript earlier. So that was what I was thinking. Probably we might encounter some issue, but I think we're good for now. So pending when we start testing it out. So far, I'm not seeing anything that looks like error. Okay. So this just basic stuff. So this test should still run. So now let me go back um to the Hardhat documentation. There's something I need to explain. And the Hardhat config.js. Okay, so this file is also very, very important. So this is the file where you see the compiler version that we are using here on this project. So that was why in my contract, I increased it from 2.6, sorry, 8.6 to 8.28 because that's the compiler version. And then inside this config file, this is where you also indicate or set up which testnet or which mainnet you want to deploy to. So this is where you'll be doing that. So we're going to get to that very soon. And what else am I not explaining? Okay, yeah. So inside this ignition, you see a lock.ts file. So we also need to create our own deployment file. So this is the file where you write the logic for deployment of your contracts. So in our own case, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this and then rename it and then make some changes to this file. Um, okay, so in our own case, we don't need this. So this imports is something that we're going to use for the deployments of the contracts. And then we can call this hello world module. So see, and then we can it's like I'm going to need this for let me just continue for now. And then we can also have yeah, I think I'm gonna remove this too. I don't really need this. These are params. Assuming our contract is expecting a param, that's where we'll be doing this get param. So these are you get param if you have a smart contract that is expecting a param. So what I mean by a smart contract expecting a param, in this constructor, we don't have anything here. See maybe string name, for instance. So we don't have anything like that here. So the smart contract is not expecting any param. So in our deployment contracts, we don't need to do this because we are not expecting any param. I hope I'm audible enough because when I was watching previous video, as if my voice was kind of low.
We are loud and
So
clear, very loud.
okay, okay, that's fine. Okay, so since we are not expecting any param, I I think I can remove this one as well. So this is where the param is supposed to go in. So I can remove that. What else? Value. We also don't need this. Okay, so I can change this to hello world. Okay, so I've done all the necessary changes. So this is what our deployment file is going to look like for our hello world contracts. So this is the file that we're going to call when we are ready to deploy. So still on the documentation. So the next thing is to compile your contract. So to compile your contract, the command for it is nps Hardhat compile. So I'm going to open my terminal now and see how we go about that. So hopefully everything goes well. So so this contract has been compiled. How do we know it has been compiled? You see successfully generated 8 typings. So if an adder does not see any error in your smart contract, if you compile it successfully, but if there's an error in your contract, it's not going to compile. So, and where is that folder? Yeah, so if you go to the artifacts, if you go to contract, you now see that we have hello world here because we just compiled it. I didn't do anything here. So artifact is where you see all your compiled and deployed contracts, assets, everything you need for that to interact with that contract. You see them here. So if you come here, you see the JSON file. So for the front end, this is what the front end is going to be needing. The front end is going to need this hello world JSON file. This is just like you writing a backend and then having your API set up, like your post, your get, and all of that. But in terms of blockchain, especially when you're dealing with Solidity and the EVM blockchain, the smart contracts after deployment, they generate a JSON file for you. So this JSON file is what we use to interact with the contract on the front end. So this is very, very important as well. Apart from that, we also need to have, so this is what we call ABI. So this is the ABI code, just similar to saying API. So that's and then what do I want to say? So we also need to deploy the smart contract for us to get our smart contract address. So right now we have only compiled the smart contract. We have not deployed it yet. So now if you run this command again, it's going to tell you that we have nothing to compile because we've compiled it and we have not made any changes to the smart contract. So until you make changes to the smart contract, that's when you have something to compile. So as you can see, it's saying nothing to compile, no need to generate new typings. So that's for that. So the next settings we want to do now is to we could add something like this. This will help us to optimize our smart contract. So we are going to focus now on the adat.config file. So if you come here, we can add this to our settings. And then, did I miss anything? Mm, let me be sure I did not miss. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. So let me remove this one for now. Let me not use to waste my time. So, but in the meantime, that one is not very, very important right now. But you need that when you probably have a very long smart contract and you are trying to optimize it because there is the way you write your contract and it's very long and you cannot even compile it and or even deploy it. So you have to use that. That's where the optimizer becomes very, very useful. Um. Okay. So we've added our test to it. So the next thing we want to do, let me see. So I'm just following the steps on the adder. So I would advise when you are doing this, if you're not assuming you get lost while following this video, you can go to the adder documentation and check to see what you are doing to ensure you are doing everything that you're supposed to do. So let me run this adult coverage. So the MPS adult coverage is for you to run tests, to test the coverage, like to ensure that your test is covering everything that is supposed to cover in the smart contracts. Okay, so let's see. Okay, first thing. All right, so this is what the test coverage looks like. And then we're obviously failing, getting 0, 20, 16 errors on covered lines. So the test for this is actually not working right now. And that is because it looks like there are some errors. There are some things I need to fix in that test. Because mind you, that test was set up to work properly on VS Code, sorry, on Remis. So moving it down to VS Code, I needed to set it up to work properly too on ADAT or using ADAT. So, and I've not done that. So that's the reason why our coverage is showing this way. So I'll have to go back to that later. But what I want to do first is to deploy the smart contracts. So, but just so you know, everything is good with the lock contracts. The tests and the contracts for the lock. That's the one that came with the templates. So we'll go over that one again later. So let's move on to deploying the smart contract. So let me clear this. Okay. So assuming we are not going to be using any testnets. So if you run this command, add nps add at node, this is going to create different accounts for you. And then, so these are like different accounts that have been generated. Because if you are going to deploy using a testnet, that means we need to provide our private key, and we also need to provide, what do we need to provide again? Yeah, the testnet URL and all those information. So see how we do that. But in the meantime, once you run this MPS add node, this is just a local, it's just local to our machine. So there is the RPC URL. So this is going to use any of these generated accounts and their private key. So each of these accounts came funded with 1,000, is it 10,000 each. So the next thing we want to do, these accounts and their private key are publicly known. Any funds sent to them on mainnet or any other live network will even lost. So these are just for playing, for testing purpose. So don't go and take any of these accounts and use as your account. So take note of that. Yeah, so the next thing we want to do is to deploy. So we are deploying locally. Let me see. Oh. I'm not supposed to end this. I'm not supposed to end this one that I ran just now. Probably should have just opened another terminal. So let me do that again. Let me run that initial command again. Oh, let me just clear first. This thing is becoming too noisy. Okay, so let me do this other one here. That command we ran just now is like running our local server. I usually don't do this most of the time we're working. So I mostly work with testnets instead of the localhost. So now running these are our localhost accounts and these are localhost URL. So coming back here, so this is the command you run to. This is the command you run. nps add as ignition deploy. So ignition module. Inside this ignition, you have modules. You have lock.ts. So this is it here. This ignition module, log.ts and hello world. So don't forget, this is the root our deployment contract. So if we want to deploy the hello world, so I'm going to change this to hello world.ts. And then dash network locals. So I'm choosing the locals network, which is the network I'm using. So as you can see, this has been deployed successfully. Compiled to solidity file successfully. Add that function, executed, blah, blah, blah. Deployed address. So this is the deployed contract address. Our, our contract is deployed to this address. This is local, so we cannot just go to the Explorer and check. So I would have say, let me go and check this transaction now that we just deployed. So, but we want to be able to move out of locals. And that's what we're going to be trying at next. So, as a general rule, you can target any network from your Hardhat config. So, let me quickly do that. Okay, so this is just what I am looking for. So basically, we're going to add this to our config file. Where is this? So you go back to this file. Actually, this file is very important for your setup. We come back here and then we do this. So now we added network and then which network? We added Sepolia. So you can have an array of plenty different networks. So if you have different network, all you just need to do is to be doing something like this. So it has to be another, maybe a rich key testnet. It has to be another network. So depending on the network you want to deploy to. So but in this case, we are only going to work with Sepolia. I would have said let me work with Ephemery. So that'd be a good opportunity for that. So, but then let's just work with Sepolia for now. So, yeah. So what you're going to do at this point, two very important things. We're going to create a .env file where you're going to have your private key. I've shown you what the private key look like. So private key is something like this. So you get your private key when you create an account. I don't want to go and show you my private key in my MetaMask, but then so okay, I don't have anything here right now. But so private key is just what comes with your account. When you create a wallet, it comes with your public address, which is this account, and then it comes with a private key. So your private key is very, very important. It's as important as your mnemonic phrase, because with your mnemonic phrase, multiple accounts can be generated out of that. So that's very, very important information that you want to keep. Because if anybody have access to your private key, they can sign transaction on your behalf and then transfer your fund to another account. So you don't make this public. So if for development purpose, you can have a private key or a wallet or an account or even a special MetaMask that you use just for development purpose, where you don't put refund, you only just put testnet fund there. So yeah, so that's it. So basically, um you have okay. So we have this now. We have this Sepolia, we have this URL, and then what we want to do next is to go to Akemi and set up our account. You can use Akemi, you can use Infora, any platform you want to use to set up your account and get your URL. So those are like public, those are like centralized node that gives you access to uh, node services that you can use to interact with the blockchain. And then this place is where you put your private key. So your private key, assuming this is the private key you want to use, is something like that over here. So let me quickly create a .env file. Mm. So for that file, I'm going to call it private key. And there's a way you interact with private key here on why using Hardhat. So a lot of things have changed with Hardhat. So that's why I'm very careful and checking the documentation. So your private key goes here. Okay. So let me change the screen I'm sharing because I have to go to Alchemy right now. Oh. Okay, so let me stop sharing this particular screen and start sharing my browser. Okay, so I believe you can see my Alchemy screen now. So Alchemy are one of those node service providers. Yeah, centralized platform. So we have the likes of Alchemy, we have Infura, we have a Quick Node. So I have videos for this on how to set it up and create your own account. So you could go check that out later. So, but in the meantime, while you are here, what you do is to sign in, and because I already have account, so I can easily sign into the account. And after signing in, doesn't want to sign in. Okay. So as a new person to Alchemy, all you need to do is to sign up and sign in. So once you sign up and sign in, then you can create an app. And after creating that app, what is actually here, please click on this object that is different. So after creating that app, you will now have access to all the things that you need. So your dashboard will look something like this. So you can, so these are like test applications I created before, and then you have their endpoints. You can create a new application and say new app. call it hello world. You can call it hello world. And then what we call it maybe DeFi. And then I go next. And the next page is for me to select which of the blockchain. So if it's Ethereum blockchain, I can select Ethereum. And then I go next. And then they ask me if I need all these other services. I can just go ahead and create without clicking on those ones. So now I have access to this. I can use this code. So I can just copy this and use. So after this, I will come and delete this particular project just for testing. So I can select the network. Yeah, we have a Olishki, we have Sepolia. So I want to work with Sepolia. So they are going to give me a URL for Sepolia. So I'll copy it and go back to my VS Code and use it there. So let me go back to my VS Code. So now we are back to VS Code. I believe you can see the VS Code there right now. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I think this is already here. Okay, cool. So now we've gotten our API key for Sepolia from Alchemy. The next thing we need is our private key. How do we get our private key? So once you create a MetaMask account, you have access to your private key. Let me check where that is. Okay, fine. So yeah. Mm. Okay, so I have to share this screen again. This is my Windows for you to see. Yeah, I think I should just do that now. Mm, okay, so I believe you can see my Brave browser. So now this is my MetaMask. Um, if you have not installed, if you have not already set up, uh, let me quickly go to Chainlink. So there are different ways you can. I think I can actually get it set from Alchemy. Alchemy Faucet. Let's try that. But I know Chainlink is guaranteed. Chainlink Sepolia. Let me use Chainlink Sepolia because Alchemy might be giving me some conditions, but we could also search for it too. Alchemy. So what we are looking for now is to get some test token because you cannot deploy your smart contract without a token. So we are going to do Alchemy Faucets. I want to see if I can get some free tokens, free Sepolia token that we're going to use for this testing. So this is Alchemy. And then we are asked to put our address here to prevent bots and abuse. This faucet requires a minimum mainnet balance. So this is the challenge. with using this. So what they mean is you need to have some Ethereum balance, like mainnet. So this is a polar test net right now. So I need to have some balance in my mainnet, in my Ethereum mainnet account, of which, yeah, this mainnet account, it doesn't have to be zero. There needs to be some amounts there. I need to zero this test net. This faucet is not going to give you any testnet token. So we need to search for other platforms that can give us. So meanwhile, since we are here, talking about how to get your private key, first off, you need to have MetaMask installed and then you can pin it to your browser. So how do you install it? You can go to the extensions. If you don't already have it, you go to extensions. I'm using Brave. So on your Brave, assuming you're using Brave and Chrome browser. So assuming you're using Brave or Chrome, once you get to the extensions, you can go to web extensions at the web store and then search for MetaMask. I spell it well. MetaMask. Okay. Yeah, I already have it. So you be careful. All of these are not the MetaMask I'm talking about. So this is the MetaMask. These are the icon look like. So be mindful of the icon. So this is how the icon look like. So you will see it here if you have not installed it already. Okay, this is mine. It's like they even changed logo. This is one I installed. That's why it's showing installed here. So you will see it here, and then you will click on it. It's most likely going to be the first, and then you see the number of stars and all of that. Then you can open it and see the number of download and maybe comments or stuff like that. So yeah, that's how you install it if you don't already have it. And then once it's installed, you set it up, you put all the necessary information that you are asked to put, and then you copy your mnemonic phrase and back it up so that whenever you delete this or you want to log into that platform or in your on your phone, because you also have access to the mobile MetaMask app as well. So you can import those wallets, you can import your accounts from your desktop or from your system to your mobile phone by just providing the mnemonic phrase and all of that. So now that you're here, you need to, if you need a Sepolia, you just click on this place here and then you see show test network. So once you switch this on, it's going to show you all test network. And if there's anyone that you need that is not here, you can do add custom network and then you put all the required information and that network will be added. So by default, Sequoia comes with MetaMask. So that's why we have it here. And right now I have zero balance and I cannot use this account to deploy the smart contract. So, and then this is how you get your private key because I'm not going to show you my private key. Like I told you, it's private. That's what they call it, private key. It's private to you. It's not something you should show to the public. So be mindful of that. Now, if you click on account details, you are going to see the wallet address. This is the wallet address for this account. And then if you do show private key, this is where you go to see your private key. So when you do show private key, it's going to show you and then you can copy it and paste it where you need to use it. So that's what you do on the private key side. Okay, so since I'm sharing the screen, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to copy it when I'm no longer sharing the screen. And then I can paste it inside my environment variable. Okay, so where am I? All right, so let me go back to, so obviously we're not going to be able to get some test token from Alchemy. Let's go try out Chainlink. So we'll go to Chainlink faucets, Sepolia. Yeah, Ethereum Sepolia, yes, this is the one we need. So yeah, we have Chainlink normally do some stuff. There are some things to do with Chainlink. So Chainlink is an oracle that enables you to automate your smart contract and all that, or even do randomness and many more things. So with Chainlink, they provide you with some test link that you can use when trying to interact with the Chainlink service. And then alongside, you are also interacting with a network, which could be any of these supported network that they have on their platform. So enable you do that seamlessly is why they also provide some small amount of token for you to use and test. So if you come to Chainlink, here you see that we have Ethereum Sequoia with the link. So if I don't need this, I just need the Ethereum Sequoia. I'll click on this and then what do I need to do? Yeah, I need to connect my wallet. So I'll connect my wallet and then my wallet is connected now. So am I missing any step? Okay, let me see. Yeah, Ethereum Sequoia. That's my wallet. Okay. So I'm supposed to click continue here and then verify that I'm a human and get token. So if everything goes well, I should be able to get that token. You must hold at least one link. On Ethereum mainnet. Interesting. Looks like we're not going to get this token today. Except I probably want to change network to something else. How's that gonna be? Mhm. I think in 4 hour ephemery. Okay. This looks like it don't want to work. So what's happening here right now is that they say we need to have one link. And link, I don't even know what the price of link is right now. So we need to have one link on mainnet for you to qualify to get this test token, this polar test token. So let me try something else. We're going to try something else right now. Um, Remember I told you that one of the node services is also in Fura. So we'll probably want to try ephemery. Ephemery is a testnet. It's not that popular, but it's something I have been working on for some time now. Let me see. So you can come set up your account on Infora, and once you are good, you will see all the supported network. I don't know why all this plenty stuff. I've set up account before. I don't know why they ask me all these plenty questions. I thought I was logging in with Google. Okay, this looks like it's going to waste our time. Mm. I really want us to work with an actual testnet instead of local nets. If not, I think if we're just working with locals, I think we're pretty much done with deploying our contract, just probably for us to fix the test. But that one is not even of high priority right now. After the deployment, the next thing we're supposed to do is to start interacting on the front end. So we're supposed to like start talking about front end interaction. But this whole faucet stuff, let me see if we can get anything from QuickNode. It's still the same thing. The user's wallet must hold at least this on Ethereum mainnet to use the EVM faucet. So I don't have this on this wallet that I'm using right now. Um, okay. It's still the same thing. Okay. Let me just try something. So this ephemery, um, add to MetaMask. Let me add it to MetaMask. Let's see if we can work with ephemery testnet. I think I can pretty much get some ephemery test tokens. Yes, so this is ephemery. Let me go to the faucet. So this is the faucet. So for the RPC URL, I could work with. I could try this. Let's see this. So for our for our Hardhat config, we could replace this URL with this one. Once I share my screen, I'll show you that. Or once I'm sharing my VS Code screen, I'm going to show you. So in the meantime, let me just copy this address. I hope we can work with this. This would be really cool because I've not really had the time to test ephemery on it. I don't know what I'm clicking, say. Click on the object that fits inside a sample item. Which sample item? Okay. All right. So this will give me, you will receive this. Wow. By request. That's huge. Wow. 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 Makes sense. Okay. So I received this sort of it. Makes sense. Makes sense. So actually, this is actually done like this. Mostly, ephemery is mostly it's a resettable testnet that resets after every 28 days, and then this is made easy because not so many people are running these test nets. And then we have a lot of the few people that are running it are mostly validators. So and validators come here to get some test tokens for them to be able to run their own nodes. So that's like subject for another day. So let's just hope that we're able to interact with the ephemery testnet on our dApp. So this is going to be the first time I'll be trying to interact with ephemery on from the dApp side. So the private key, yeah, so let's get back to sharing something else so that I can quickly get my private key and then we so let me get my private key and take it to VS Code for us to move on to the next thing. Okay, I'm supposed to do show.
You can't see your screen anymore.
Yeah, I'm proposing on sharing because I am trying to get my private key. Remember, I told you that's not supposed to be public. So once I'm done with that, I'll share my VS Code screen now. Okay, I believe you can see my VS, right?
Oh, yes. That's okay.
Okay, so now we have our URL. We are working with ephemery. So ephemery is the network we are working with. So this is the URL, and this is the another thing again is I hope this works because there is a special way of configuring a network that is not supported by Hardhat. So if ephemery is not one of those, I doubt if ephemery is one of those networks that's supported by Hardhat. And if it's not, it means it simply means I have to do some special setup for that to happen. But let me try one more thing again. Let me try base sepolia. If I'm able to get for base sepolia. Still the same thing. I still need to have at least one link on Ethereum. Okay. Let's just keep moving and see what happens. Okay, so let me go back to the ADAT documentation. Is it okay? So there's a way you set up your environment variable. So I'm going to show you that. Remember, we added a private key inside this .env file. So and we cannot deploy this contract without setting it up properly. So if you go to the documentation somewhere around ADAT runtime environment, no configuration variables. Let us see. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So that's it. Okay. So now for this private key, I'm going to do something like this. So enter the value. So I need to enter the value now. So I'm going to stop sharing. For me to enter the values because right now I'm going to enter the private key that I got from. I'm going to enter the private key that I got from my MetaMask wallet. So that's the value I'll be entering. Okay, so that value has been entered now. And let's get back to our screen. Okay, so let me try that ephemeral deployment again and see what happens. See, still not working. All right. Hmm, let's see. I'm suspecting it's because this it's because ephemeral is not actually supported. I don't think the problem is the private key per se, even though the error is looking as if it's the private key. Um, okay. Let me just put this for ChatGPT though and see what happens. Let me try this. Probably should put this separately. What am I going to do? Okay, let me try this. Let me also run this. So I don't really think it's a private key issue. So let me go back to Hardhat's documentation and see. See, so I'm trying to find out. Let me check for the command. So I want to get the supported chains in Hardhat. So trying to remember what that command is. Okay, let me try this command out. It works. It's not correct. Let me try change then. It's like there's no such command. Yes, ChatGPT does not know. So get back to the doc. I'm trying to think which test nets I can actually get for set to come without all those restrictions. That's the whole problem we are facing right now. Mm, Let me see. Oh, okay, I think probably missed something. Let me be sure I actually missed something. Well, let's see. Mm, Because I think this private key I put is not visible. That's the reason for that error. Oh shit. Supposed to change this to private key. Still getting that error. Oh, it looks like we have fixed that problem. But this network number, let me see the latest chain ID. It's 143. I don't know. It's only in a 10 year. 39438 chain ID. Mm. Let me open this config file. See. 39438 121. How is it showing 121? 121 is supposed to be 143. That chain ID is not. I'm showing 147. Okay. I'm showing the latest. The RPC you are meant to have a different chain ID. I'm not showing. Yeah, okay, see, I mean, something. It's also. So, so let me try these kids. Really happy I'm doing this because I probably will have some feedback on this. Oh boy, I see. This one showing 1, 2, 1. Interesting. Okay, so let me try this last one. Oh, now I see. I see. So this is actually correct. This is actually correct. Let me use this Aragon. This is close to the latest. This one is too far off. Okay. Oh yes, oh yes. There's a mismatch between the chain ID. So basically, what's happening now is this ephemeral I'm using because you remember earlier I said it's a resettable testnet. So every 28 days it resets and then the chain ID increments. So this current iteration of the network is supposed to the chain ID is supposed to end with 143, not this chain ID number that is here. And yeah, so let me do this. Let me run this again. Okay, yes, this is actually what I want. So let's do this. Oh, great, great, great. Contract is deploying. I was actually thinking this is going to give me a headache because there was a time I tried to deploy to a network that is not supported by Hardhat. And then I was having issues. I needed to do some special setup configurations and all that. So I was thinking that's what's going to happen with this. That was why I was contemplating whether or not to use this network because I don't think I've seen this network on Hardhat as part of the list of supported network before. But hopefully everything goes well with these deployments. And then we can see we have deployed to Ephemery. So I just opened the Explorer. I'm waiting for that deployment to go through. Yeah, I'm waiting for the deployment to go through. Good, good, good. That's great. That's great. All right, all right. So these are deployed address. Let me get the Ephemery Explorer. I'm going to open the Explorer so that we can. Yeah, I think it's the one that should be opening. So with this Explorer now, we can
You can't
talk
see the
about
star
this.
screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry. I'll share
Okay.
that now. So I'll just try to check something on my own first to be sure. Okay, great. Great. Okay. All right. So let me share. Let me share now. Mhm. I'm actually excited that I am running this thing on ephemery because I've been working on this project for a while now on the protocol side, and I've not really like had time to build a dApp on it. So these challenges we had with Sepolia actually pushed me to go and try ephemery. So lucky for us, we are able to. I believe you can see the Explorer, right?
Oh yes, yes, we can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So lucky for us, we're able to deploy to this. So this is the deployment we did now. As you can see, this is just one transaction. It happened 3 minutes ago. And then if we click on it, this is the address. This is my wallet address. Let me zoom. So this is my wallet address that I used to initiate this transaction. If you come back here, you will see this address. My address ends with 89. So this is my wallet address, and this is the contract address. Yeah, this is the contract address. And then this is the transaction hash. So if we let me see for activity, okay, you're not gonna see it there. So but then if you come to this contract address, let me see, this should be clickable. I don't know why I'm not able to click on it. Well, yeah, I'm actually here. So this is the contract address already. So the creator is this person, which is me. That's my wallet address. And then these are everything that happened. So internal transaction, no transaction yet, I guess. So the only transaction is just this deployment. So nothing to actually show there. So but if we want to like go deep, so this is the transaction hash. So this transaction hash comes with all these transaction headers and informations that are inside. So the transaction was successful, blah blah blah, this thing happened. So this is the S code of the transaction. Let's see, ETF8. It's not a good format. Like you might not really be able to know the information that is here. Uh, Let me see if we can actually do something like S to string, but that's, let me see this raw trace, if there's any readable stuff we can see. Nothing you can really understand from here. Log. I don't have any log. I did not use any events in the contracts. So yeah. So just still just basically it. So the more we transact, the more we, I'm just going to leave this open here. So the more we do some transaction, the more we'll see things coming up here. So let me see if I can do text to string, if we are able to like decode what that stuff is about. Okay. Anyways, let me not come and waste my time here. But later you can go and check how you can convert that stuff, that is, so that you can like, if you want to see what is there. So the next thing we want to do is to um now that we've been able to deploy our contracts, so these are our contract address. We should take note of that. And then the next thing we want to do now is to let me see what I want to verify these contracts. Let me see if it's something I can set up here. Mm. So now the importance of verifying a contract is that like now As you come here now, you're not able to read any information about this contract. But once you verify the contract, you will see the full contract, like you will see the entire code of the smart contract on this Explorer. And you can even interact with the contract right here without going to your front end. So that's one important reasons you should consider verifying your contract, especially if the stuff is for something serious. To consider verifying the contract instead of just leaving it like that. But for something this basic, it might not be all that important to do. Um, let's see. So these are like verified contracts. Mm, I'm not sure I'll be able to do this in this class right now because normally I'm supposed to do something like a ETA scan and set up accounts, then get the verified API key that I'm going to use. But let me even check something. Yes, I think I saw something like that. I saw APIs. Oh, it's not the API I was thinking. It's not like showing locals. So basically, to verify a contract, you're supposed to do something like this, like sign up and sign into the Explorer, and then looks like I can't remember my login information again. Okay. So I'm supposed to like sign in and then come to which place? I think this API dashboard. And then come here and select a key. Where did I even do this other word? You just select a key there that you're going to use. And I can I can add it to my environment variable. Start showing you guys that key. Okay, so let me just where's that config? Um Here's my environment variable. All right. So I can add it to my environment variable as a API key. ETA scan API key. So, and the same way I set the other one, that's the same way I will come and set it in my VS Code. The same way I set that private key, that's the same way I'll set it. So let me just quickly do that before I go back to sharing the VS Code. So the command is nps add at var set, then the name of the variable you want to set, and then the next thing that will come up is for you to enter the value that you want to set for it, and then you place the value. Okay, so that being said, we'll go back to the config. I hope I'm not confusing you in this video. So, because this is a lot of things and it requires a lot of carefulness, especially as we're just doing everything right here in this session. So, Dami, you want to say something?
No, it's fine. They are trying I'm trying my best. I'm following.
Sorry, I didn't get
Yeah, I'm trying my best. I'm following up.
All right, no problem. It's expected. So basically, you have the opportunity to like rewatch the video to really like get it if you don't get it at once. So anybody watching, if you are not following, try to pause and understand clearly what I'm doing. So the next thing I want to do is to verify the contract. So the step is after what's it called? After compiling, you deploy. After deploying, you verify. After verifying, then we can move on to interacting with our contracts. So let us see. So I think at this point, I can go back to sharing my VS Code so that you can see what we are going to be doing there. I believe you can see the VS Code now.
Yes,
Okay. Object nature will only specify non-properties. API key does not exist in network user config. So this is still the network. So this is actually supposed to be outside of the network. Okay. So let us try and run the deployment command. So let me go back to what's it called? The Hardhat documentation. And then we are going to run the command to verify the smart contracts. So your config file should look something like this, basically. So this is how you handle environment variables in Hardhat. So you put them here like this, put them here. It doesn't really matter, Seth, whether you're even working with or the EMV, Seth. The main thing is because you're just setting them right here on your system. And then you follow the command to set the environment variable and to add the value. So this is the command to like set it, and then you now enter the value. So and to use it, it's just for you to declare it like this and to get this and pass this value down here. So these are our network. These handles all the network that we're going to have. Like I said, you can have more than one network inside here. And then when you are deploying, you indicate the name of the network you are deploying to. And then this other one is another object for handling what's it called? Verification of the smart contract. So that's what we want to do now. So now we have deployed. The next thing we want to do is to verify our smart contracts. So let us see. So you can, assuming we have not deployed this contract before, you can run everything at once. Like you can deploy and verify at the same time. So there's a command for that too, to run and deploy at the same time. You can find that in the documentation. So, but since we have already deployed, I'm going to use this command to verify the smart contracts. So let's try it out. Hopefully everything works fine. So you have NPS, Hardhat, ignition, verify. Um, and then, so we are going to get our deployment file. So I'm going to check under, do I check? Yeah, under ignition, we have deployment, we have change. So these deployments we have done so far. The name of our deployment is chain dash 39 438 143. And then, okay, this is not working right now. So let's see. Error in plugin, Hardhat, ignition, verification not natively supported for chain. Okay, I guess this is the error I was expecting, since I thought that was supposed to happen at the point of deployment, but it's actually happening at the point of verification. So this chain, what's it called? Chain ID. This chain ID. Verification not natively supported for this chain ID. Please use a custom chain configuration to add support. Okay, so that is not natively supported. And I wouldn't want to spend the whole time that we have to start doing customization for that. So I would advise you go to the documentation to do that. But assuming this was a supported network, all you just need to do is to run this command, this add as ignition verify, then the name of the deployment, which is this. So we are not able to verify this right now because this particular chain ID or this network with this chain ID is not natively supported in ephemery, sorry, in Hardhat. So for us to be able to support it, we need to like do some custom, write some custom code or setup in our config file. So, and that might take some time. So I'm trying to avoid that so that we can quickly move to the front end parts. Um, Let me see. Let me see if I can get a quick setup answer for this from what's it called? From ChatGPT. So if we are lucky, we get something that works quickly, then we can try it out. So I've seen something like this. Okay. API URL. Just is this even correct? I'm sure. Yes, so let me change it to this. And then the API URL. C/API URL. Let me just try this. If it doesn't work, so let's see. Okay, this is a command. Let's see I should run. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's supposed to start with NPS. Anyways, I think this will be like something I have to look later. So, but I think we are good with the fact that we have been able to deploy these contracts. Let me check to ensure I still know the what's it called. So maybe later on I can on my own try it. Because we are really running out of time for this. So I just want to take note of this. Um, yeah, so that's our contract right there. Okay, yeah, so the next thing we want to do quickly without wasting too much time is to move on to the front end. So we're not doing any serious front end per se. We're just creating a basic front end. So um yeah, we're just creating a basic front end, and then the front end is going to be so now in your project you can decide to put your front end and your back end together. You can decide to create them separately. So I think we know I normally run into issues of uh a node file blah 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 already exists here. So since we started with the Hardhat, I think I'm just going to first of all separate them and then bring it inside here so that they are all in one place. So I can move back to my projects, create a directory or do I even need to create a directory? I can just do it here at once. So let me run this command for the Nest.js. So we'll move on to the Nest.js application, and then you copy the installation. So nps create Nest latest. So we're going to create a quick Nest.js application, my app. So I'll call it Hello World Frontend. Yes, I want to use TypeScript. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so this is setting up our Next.js application for us. So once this is set up, I can I can drag it here and drag the project here, and then let's then we can move our. The only thing we need. Oh, looks like you're not seeing what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, no, we are not. So,
Yeah, you should have told me. I was just setting up. Looks like at the end of the day, I'm just going to share the entire screen.
I think that would do from now.
Mhm. Yeah, seeing the two sides of the screen, all right? So basically, what I did just now was, I don't know if this is visible enough.
Yeah, I
So
think we
this
can
is,
cope now.
yeah, seeing the two screens clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So this is the Next.js website. I just went here, copy this. So if this is your first time, all you need to do is to go to the documentation. Everything I do, I first of all go to the doc. So you go to the documentation and then you can copy this. So with this, I copy this into my terminal. Into the terminal. So this was where I started. I copied it into my terminal. I just ran this command, and then all this thing popped up for me to answer yes or no. And then it's installed. That was just it. So what I want to do now is to I mean split our hello world front end. I just I just copied it inside our. Oh, it's not really inside per se. It's just separated. So now I just moved it inside. I hope it's actually moved. Doesn't really look like it moved. It just went out. What am I doing? Okay, I think now it's actually moved. Anyways, since it's not one move, let's just work with it from here. So, but what I wanted to do was to like move it inside so that everything is in one folder. In case we are pushing it with it, you have it in one folder like that. So, but nevertheless, for the purpose of this class, we can just work with it as it is. So, all I need to do now is to cd into um hello world class. Sorry, hello world front end. So I think we're pretty much done with the backend so far, or with the blockchain side. So now move on to let's move on to the front end. So I can do something like to start up the projects, you just come to your package or JSON. So we're inside the front end now. Once you come here, you will see where is it npm run dev. So with this, I am currently going to be running the localhost. So we're running localhost at port 3000. So this is what your Next.js application will look like. I believe everything is clear. You are seeing the screen clearly.
Yes, it's there.
Okay. So now this is what our front end is going to look like. This is just the basic stuff. So now I'm going to remove as an SJS. So this is the page that is rendering all these things. So we don't need all of that. So I'm going to remove it. Just put just a plain hello world. Don't need all these long codes that you don't start getting confused. We just need okay. So that's that. And then since we are using Tailwind, we can quickly do um, says yeah, actually remember my Tailwind. Okay, let's center. And then um so okay. What is I do here? Okay. All right. So assuming this is what we are doing, then the next thing we want to do now. So we don't need this image. We're not using any image. So like I told you, the only thing we need from this smart contract is this artifact. And it's the JSON file. So we can copy this and bring it to our front end. Also, we need to take note of our, let me just, okay, I think there's already a .env file. Uh, is this, okay, it's in this place. So I want to create a .env file inside this our application, is our front end app. It's env. Well, I might not even need it. So for this simple application now, I can just mm, yeah, for this simple app, I can just maybe say const hello world if this is where I'm going to this contract. I just pass the contract address there. But that might even change. But let's just leave it here for now. Mm, so this is the contract address. Pass it there. So this is string read because it is not used. I've not used it yet. So before we use it, what do I want to do next? Yeah, so Rainbow Kits. Let's move on to Rainbow Kits because we need to have a connect button where we are connecting. What are we connecting? Where we are connecting our wallet. So we can do npm init Rainbow Kits as latest. So we could do this. And we could also check the documentation to be super sure that we're doing the right thing. So if you come to the doc, you come to installation. Now there are different type of installation. It's either you're installing it so that it also creates a React application for you, or you are doing the manual installation. I think this one is going to like create a Next.js app for you. So this is what they wrote here. You can scaffold a new Rainbow Kit, swag me, blah, 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 with one of the following. So this one, we create a Next.js and everything that you need. So for the manual one, this one is just going to add this React stack and Vim, WagMe, all those stuff. These are things you need when interacting with the blockchain. So that's the one we're going to install. What's happening here? Okay, so we can install this inside our front end. So with this WagMe, you have access to the wallet connect button. Like this button, we are going to be able to do something like this after setting it up. We're going to do this quickly, and then once we have this, we can now go back to maybe the WagMe website and see how you can interact. So by default, WagMe, Vim, and everything is already set up for you. All you need to do after this whole setup is to start interacting. So good enough, if you go to the documentation, you notice that they have sample applications, they have Next.js app router. So this is the one we are doing. So I'm just going to check the sample application to make our setup a lot much easier. So once you open this, you're going to see everything that it did here. So if you check the source directory, you see all the setup that it did. So if you check the layout, no, there's nothing there in layout. This page is the page. So I think the bulk of everything we need is inside this providers.css. So I'll just copy that and then move over to our yes, right inside here. So I'll create a file called providers.css. And then we paste that. So the next thing we need is we don't really need anything on this guy. Wagme.ts, we need this file too. Copy everything here. And then you come over here. Okay. So okay, this TS, not TSS. So that is it's still because we're not doing a component, it's just a TypeScript file. So what did I do here? Is this TSS? Yes, okay, that's fine. So what else? What else? Let's see. I think inside this page, yeah. So inside this page, this is where I want to have our button. So I think there's still something I'm missing. I'll get back to that. So this is our page. We can import this. So since this is okay, let's just leave that for now, sure. So yeah, I can add this button to its connect button. And if everything is fine, we should see the connect button. But if everything is not fine, we should get an error. So let's refresh. Well, I think there's still something that is missing. I don't know why this thing is loading slowly. So let me go back to right. Okay. Let's just check carefully to be sure that we have done the right setup. So basically, these are the various imports to set up your WAGMI. You're importing the query provider, the rainbow kit, and all of that. And then on this page, anytime you want to connect to WAGMI using the connect button, it's just for you to import this and then call this connect button component. And yes, so this is the one I know we are missing, which is this. So this is the one that is going to apply the styling to our project. So we need to import, we have actually not imported those files that we created. So we need to import them inside the layout file. So inside here, we can come here and do something like this. And then we can now do something like this inside the body. So right now inside the body, we don't really have anything. The children is just like that. So we can do this. So with this, I believe we're good to go. For that rainbow kit wallet connect button. So I don't know whether this thing want me to restart it. Why it is really slow in loading, not sure. My battery is going down. I need to plug my laptop now. Okay. Mm. So not having any error. Config is on our way. Query config. Okay. Did I create any file called WAGMI? Yes, I did. So it's like the import is not getting the right part. Okay, I suppose you just use one dot. One dot should be fine. Everything should be fine now. Okay, good, 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 good. So here we go. We have our connect button. So this is first step for that. Okay, so all right, so now we've done that. So the next thing we want to do is to create an input feed to be able, yeah, just a simple component we are creating inputs to be able to send message and then another small stuff like table. So let me just open this WAGMI. There's a WAGMI tailwind CSS. So I'm just going to try as much as possible to be very fast because we are already taking so long in this class. So, but meanwhile, so yeah, so let's go back to our layout page. I have a very crazy layout page out there. So everything I do, I basically just go to the documentation because I do a lot of things, and then sometimes I have forgotten some of the even the basic English should I use, the very basic things. Small styling stuff. I can't even remember some of those things right now. So, but then that's why documentation is there for you, so you don't have to like put everything inside your head. And so what do I even want from this doc? Let's go to components. So if you work very well with you see we are using Tailwind in this project because Next.js have it pre-installed, so we didn't have to come and install it ourselves. So assuming we are setting up a project where Tailwind is not already installed, you have to come to this Tailwind documentation and do all those setup by yourself. So all these things they've been set up already, so we don't need to come and do anything. So, and the more you work with documentation, the more you know where the things you are looking for are, the more you can like easily come here and like find things. So, because personally, I work with the documentation more than I probably work with ChatGPT. So, you just come here and check for what you are looking for. Um, I think this can work too for. But this is not really what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is like I'm in the wrong side of the dock. I want them to give me David CSS plus. I don't need David CSS. Okay. Okay. So let me go to the dock. This is what I'm looking for. Mhm. All right. So I can come here and search. Assuming I need table. I say table, I'm saying color. What did I type? Let me type it again. Table layouts. Mhm. And then now it's bringing it. Okay. All right. So yeah, my. Okay. So if we need a basic table, we can copy this and use. I'm going to be needing it very soon. That's why I needed to open it up. So if there's any other thing you need as far as steering goes, it's just for you to come to this side uh, and just scroll through the documentation and search for what you're looking for. So let's say three. I don't know why I forgot something on margin. Where that margin says mhm, margin. Yes. This is for margin. MS. Okay, yeah. I actually forgot it too. All right. So yeah, because I was trying to do something like for this empty now, I should be margin top. So empty 36 because I didn't like the way this stuff is up here. Like there was no space. And it's still up there. Look like I'm still not getting it right. Did I miss something? Let me just buy it top. Okay, that's gone down. All right. So basically, we're not really doing anything fancy, but um let our button come first. Let it just be here on top. So I can put it in its own div so that I can style it and maybe shift it to the start. So we're basically not here to do any UI fancy stuff. We're just here to interact with the smart contract that I've created. So but to do that, we just need to create some basic stuff. I don't know why these changes is taking long to take effect. And then it's my first end. So that the autocomplete is not doing his work. Um, okay, I think maybe justify. This one I don't know what's there. Anyways, like I said, let me just leave this for now. So the next thing I want to do is to create a simple input. I don't know whether to use input for from Tailwind or just do normal inputs. Let's do normal inputs. Is something missing? I don't know input again. Wow. Inputs. Mm, 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 mm. How did I even come here? I don't want to come to this plus. I'm not looking for already made stuff. Okay, let me not even waste my time, sir. Where is that ChatGPT? Okay. So why this is generating, just give me a minute, let me get my charger. I think that also impacting on the, I don't know why this thing is quite slow right now. And right, so I'm back. Sorry for that. Let me change my camera. Okay. So let me check. I believe this should have. Wow. What's going on with ChatGPT? Is it my network or what? Okay. So let's get right into it. All right. We have this simple input form. Really, I'm not sure why this thing is very, very slow. Okay. Um, this is actually too slow, too slow. Let me let me see this config again. Let me sure I'm running the right thing. Okay, so what's going on? I need to add this use client. You know, when you're doing Next.js and you're using the latest version of Next.js where everything is like server side, and then you need to add a what's it called? So okay, this kind input feed way ChatGPT which and cloud generates. Let me see. Um, let me just add margin to it. Is this button inside the phone? Yes, that should take care of that. But for some reason, this thing is just compiling very, very, very slow. So bad. Okay. So now margin my it's it should be fine. All right, so let's assume we are good with this. So basically, what we are supposed to do is to say hello, type anything, and then send it. So when we click on this send, this is where we are supposed to be interacting with blockchain and opening MetaMask to say transaction and then getting the list of everybody that sent message. So that list, then we go back to that table. Let us know that we are done with our basic UI setup. So I can pick this table. We don't really need anything too fancy. So this table can be here. Good. So this is React. So that's why we can make it class name. Then we go back to the UI and see what we are doing. Mm, so, all right, let me just leave that one like that first. So the title is we just need a serial number, message that was sent. Not really getting many other information. So I think that should be fine for now. So for the role, we just need that. Yeah, that's basically what we need. So that should populate itself as we continue to loop through it. So I'm going to write a loop later for that. So this is just our basic serial number. So we're going to have something like this. Maybe the first one is one, second one is messages. Okay. So I think that's setup is okay. So the next thing we want to check is WAGMI. So when interacting on the front end, there are a lot of things that come into play. First off, we have gotten our Connect wallet button. And then once you click on Connect wallet, we connect to, say we select MetaMask and then we have connected. So good for us. One beautiful thing about WAGMI is it's just do all the work for you, like all the like a simple UI. Yeah, you don't have to start. Before I was even thinking like I even forgot. I was thinking that oh maybe I need to come out and do a small UI where you can see my wallet address once I am connected and all of that. So but you don't need to do that. Now you can select network and then this is another thing too. Yeah, so as you can see in this list of network, ephemera is not there. So I need to go and add it in the network section inside Wagmi. I doubt if they have it, but let's see. They don't have it actually. They don't have it, so I'm the one that is going to like configure it and then add it. So it's like my own custom network. And to do that, I can just follow what they did in one of these ones here. I don't need to do everything else that they did here. But the main thing is maybe uh the Explorer and the chain ID. Yeah. So let me quickly do that. So basically what I want to do is to create a custom chain. Like I want to define a custom chain for ephemeris. See the ephemeris now here. Like if you come to this place now, they have the different list of chains that are supported by Rainbow Kit. So as you can see, these are the names of the different chains. And ephemera is not one of those chains. So we need to come and because this stuff now are going to be interacting on the ephemera testnet. So these are the supported chains. Ephemera is not one of them. So I'll need to make a copy of the way they are creating the chain formats and then quickly set up something for ephemera. They have quite a lot, but too bad. Ephemera is not in this list. Yep. So these are just different chains. ZKVM and the rest. So let me create that. Let me know what's F. I think is what I need from Vim. So let's use chain config. What does this entail? I've done something like this before on a different projects. I can't remember. Okay, so because I don't want to spend too much time, I'm just going to look for a project where I did it before and then copy it for us to be able to like set up our custom chain because I don't start searching for the method that I imported. I can't really remember exactly. So let's see. Actually, this. Okay, yeah. So this is exactly what I just need. Yes. Yeah. And I just want to start doing unnecessary stuff. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to pass the what's it called? Mm, network name is FM. And then yeah, I'll pass the chain ID. What was the chain ID again? 394 394 38143. Okay. And then leave it like this. So then for the RPC, let me use the one I use in this config file. It is this one right here. So now we can now import whatever. So let me close this, let me not go and mess things up. Mm. Okay, so I can get away with this. Move to trash. Then inside this wagme, I need to import it. So I can import it as let me see what I did here that I'm not able to import. Okay, so I can now add this to this. Yeah, I think that should be it. So now if you come here, we can now see ephemery. We don't have a logo, so that's why I just see it like this. So I can select ephemery, and then what's the problem now? This token symbol does not match the network name or chain IDs entered. Many particular tokens use similar symbol, which scammers can use to trick you into sending them. Okay. It's opening second. Okay, let me come here. I'll come and check. And this is first. So the symbol. Okay. Mm. Okay, so let me see if I can get to the details here. Okay, the symbol is which is what I'm using. So why is what did they even complain of just now? The symbol and let me try that thing I did just now. The chain ID network symbol does not match the network name. Chain ID. The symbol is it. The normal network name chain ID. Yeah, it's actually going to give us problem because of the. I mean, I'm trying to. I mean, trying to. Okay, let me do a quick ChatGPT search. This one that ChatGPT is misbehaving against. How to remove a network from MetaMask. Okay, step from the settings, you go to network, maybe there's no network anywhere. So I probably go to advanced, not there, definitely not there. Network features aren't there. So I have to go and add this thing in another browser. Um, Firefox. Ephemery. There. So yeah, let me add it. Let's see whether we're going to have the same issue. This custom network is not recognized. Recommend that you verify network details. So the network name is ephemery testnet. Okay. So let me go change it in my code. Probably don't have this problem. Okay. So now I've added it. I think I'm on ephemery now. Let me copy this address and send some token from here to this address. How much am I sending? Like 100. Oh, this is failing. Why is it failing? Wow. We'll come back and search if we receive anything wrong. So it looks like I'll have to go and get my own token from here as well. Which faucet did I use just now? Oh, what's a class? Okay. Please click hold and drag the element on the right to the shape that is most similar. The element on the right. Which shape is most similar? Okay, this. Okay, we have access on tokens, I guess. Now we should have something. Is anything wrong with this account? Nothing is entering. Why is it showing this error message? The native token symbol does not match the expected symbol of the native token for the network with the associated chain ID. You have entered X, while the expected token symbol is something else. Please verify. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Amazing. So this is the problem we're going to have now. Unfortunately, we don't have this information now. It means we have some work to do here. Okay. So the same issue I'm having with my rainbow kits is the same issue I'm having trying to set it up on MetaMask. It's sorry, yeah, MetaMask on Firefox is not even working. But let me skip that for now and then move on to let me check something. Okay, so let me just continue. Let's go to WAGMI. So basically, what we are supposed to do next is mm, let's go to the getting started or get started. So we don't need to install all of this. We have installed it when we set up our Rainbow Kits. So all you need to do when you want to send a transaction is to let's see, yeah, send transaction. Come to the side of the documentation. You see send transaction, and let's see, we have this input name, place that required type, blah blah blah. Okay, so this was what I was trying to do the other time. So once you have that set up, all you need to do next is to use this. Yeah, use what me sorry use send transaction and then create the transaction, pass everything you need to pass. So let's get right into it. So assuming I want to send a transaction, I'll click on this. I'll import it. We're doing almost everything inside this file here. And then let me see if I can import. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is to do this inside here. And then what else? Then we pass this. So we're not actually transferring anything. So we're just going to get the we're just going to get what are we doing? So this is when you are this is when you are sending something. So right now we're not sending anything. So you don't really need that part of the contract. So there is something we can do next. I think there's another import we need. Maybe that's not the one I should be using. Mm. So basically, when you are assuming we are doing a normal transfer, when you have sent the transaction, you put the to like who are you sending it to, then the value, how much are you sending? After that, you now use this use wait for transaction receipt. So after doing this, you can this is the point where you now sign the transaction and confirm and do all those sort of stuff. So okay, so basically I think this is one I need. Write to contracts. So yeah, I want to write to the contracts. And then I guess I'm going to be changing that input. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is what I need. So I'm going to replace that send transaction with this use rights. And then I'm going to do this. I replace it with this. And then we need something like this. Let me just copy this. I think I like what you did here. Let me replace this with that. And then let me also copy this section the code. If we can go and format our own page. All right, good. So we don't have an argument, so we don't need this. We don't need this. So the function name is, what's the function name? Uh, so we can call it ABI if we want. So probably we can just change this to ABI. Okay. Um, it is an error, let me know why. The formats. Let me see. Anyways, I'll come back to that formats. I don't know what it means. Yeah. So our control address is what is supposed to be here. So our control address is this one right here. So where's that ABI? Is it right ABI? And it's unnecessary. Read. Yes. ABI. Yeah. So this actually gives us the actual ABI. So the function name is what we are going to figure out. So to get the function name, if you go into the ABI now, the function we are looking for is input. You have add message. That's the function. Add message. So change this function name to add message. So this is just how you arrange your stuff when you want to interact using WAGMI. So this is the API, which is this one that we imported here. And then so it has to be this format, like starting with this, because there are some other things. That's why we can't just use it like that. We needed to do dot API. Sometimes we might want to put our control address here and then just do dot control address if we want everything to be in one place. And yeah, so what else? What else? What else? So for the hash, so that's after you have sent the transaction. So you could um have something like this. So on submit, you now have this. So let me just get this. So after we submit, um, we can do this. Yeah. So let's go back. That's just all we need to do to interact and submit the transaction. So our problem right now is the network that we have selected. We're having problem with the network right now, like seriously. So assuming we're able to do something, if we could say hello glory, and then do send. So send is supposed to prompt us to sign transaction, assuming we're not having problem with that network. But let's see the method we need to run to read from the contract, because reading is what we use to display the information here. So let's go to read from contracts. So if you come here, you see use read contracts. So these are stuff from Wagmi. So like I said, since Wagmi is already part of the installation setup, we installing your rainbow kits. So we can come here and do this. So yeah, so what we just want to read is where did you get this from? Okay. So assuming we have a WAGMI contract um, config, we probably will be doing this. But since we don't have, we are going to like do all these things that we need here. That's just what this is expecting. We don't have that file. So I want to read. So to read, we are not expecting any arguments. We're not passing any arguments. And the method name that I want to read is, what's the method name again? So get all messages. So we can do get all messages. So this is an array. We're expecting an array. And then we don't really need to put anything. Have I used that data before? No. So we just use it like that. So you can see here's our list. So from here now we can actually like do normal looping stuff. Mm, data.map. Then yes. Okay. So yeah, so another way to solve this problem is right now data is unknown. So I don't make it any. Doesn't even really matter. So we could do the states. We could set it an array of the messages. When do I set it? Mm, it isn't gonna work. Yeah, I suppose I have a use effect actually. Yeah, we're supposed to have a use effect. So for when we just once the thing starts, it should do what it needs to do. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Keep aside. Okay. Let's see if this is going to be an issue. Let me just comment on this for now, and then do data. This is definitely going to give us problem. Let me do sha. Okay, let me get yours. So this is not going to work due to some of those problems we encountered. So first off, this contract is deployed to Ephemery, and I switched to Ethereum. So if I try to do send, we are not really getting anything. Ideally, it's supposed to pop up for MetaMask to open up. So yeah, it looks like we probably will be ending this session here, and then we're not able to figure out some of the issues we were having. We can just do a quick video and upload it on the channel so that we don't sleep here trying to figure out what the problem is. So, but basically, all you just need to know is that this is for your front end. This is the function you need when trying to. These are like the most important parts of this front end section, which is this. So this is how you read from the smart contracts. Using this, you read from Wagner. So this is your smart contract address, and then this is the ABI, and then this is the function name that you want to access. Then on the other hand, to submit, to send something to the contract, you use this one. So you will just put this method here. Add message is the name of the method, and this is the ABI. This is the control address. So yeah, so every other thing are just maybe minor UI issues. And apart from the UI issue, the major problem we are having is the fact that we can't connect to Ephemery due to the issues we're having with the incompatibility with the what's it called? The symbol name and the chain ID and all those issues on MetaMask. So it will be difficult for us to like sign transaction rights on Ephemery. So ideally, once we send a message, it's supposed to pop up for us to sign the transaction and all of that. So if you take a look at this log, let me open it. You see, could not add network that point to same RPC endpoints as existing network for chain, blah, blah, blah. Could not add network, unrecognized chain ID. Try adding the chain ID using wallets, add Ethereum chain first. And then that did not work. Could not add network that point to same chain ID, blah, blah, blah. So that's basically the issue we are facing. Let me see one more time. So let me try this one. Let me use this connect. So we are just having that same ID issue. Otherwise, we should have been able to do what we need to do. But this is just it. We just it generally. All I need to do later on is to figure out a way to get this MetaMask to accept this ephemeral here for us to be able to transact. But other than that, I think we're pretty much done with what I needed to show you in this video. So we've created a basic template. We'll be able to connect to our wallet to WAGMI. We're also able to create a template, sorry, a custom network to add a network that did not previously exist on the as part of the list of network that was recognized by Rainbow Kits. So we're able to add a ephemeral testnet. Unfortunately, we are having issues connecting to it using our MetaMask. So, and then we were able to like create a method to send transaction using WAGMI and also another method to read transactions from the contracts. So all that was needed was to call this use read contracts and then um, this other one here to send. So let me even log something. Wait, let me open this user first and log. I just want to log and see what's console.log and see what's inside this data. So so hydration failed because the server rendered they match the client as result of this stream we generated on the client. This happen if a SIS client component is used. So it's the what's it called? This use effects that I added here and then let's see this. So this kind of doing it in the app just logging that thing. That's the mirror right there. Okay, so let me just log hello world. Okay. Okay. So the hello is showing, but this is not showing. So I think we need to probably to okay. Okay. So these are objects under that objects. It's probably something that I should be awaiting. But let's see. Hmm. The object is undefined. I can wait it here. Let me check for the DDL, see if there's something I am missing out. I just using that right now. So why is this undefined? So meanwhile, there are other methods you can also use. Inside this use reach, you have access to error is pending, none of that. So in your components, you can do if error displays to so and so thing, or if it's pending, displays to so and so thing, and stuff like that. So but you can also add refresh if you want to add refresh to it. And yeah, that's basically it. So in the meantime, I'm still wondering why data is not defined. Something must be wrong. Yeah, I think there is something I'm actually missing. Chain ID. Yes. Yeah. This chain ID was expecting a number. Okay. Because I use data here and anyways, data is not defined. So let's do some debugging quickly. I don't never understand this first. That's what I did last year. What's going on? Okay, yeah, down. I really don't see anything yet. I need to check again. Well, anyways, to be specific, let me just try this error and probably get a better error message as to what the error is. No, no, no. Okay. So basically, error is possibly no. So that's not working. And this is also, oh, finally. Can you imagine? Finally, we are getting the hello world message here. So you can see this log. This is showing hello world now. I'm there. That's nonsense. So, but in the meantime, it's not showing. I think something is wrong with the way I should put this. Let me quickly get that out of the way. Yeah, that's okay. This is different from what I did. But let me copy it. Sure. Oh, I don't have that. See here. Where is still there? So see, this one is the same thing. If I'm not mistaken. Okay. Uh, I'm guessing hello world, hello world. Okay, because I repeated it twice. Hello world. Okay, so yeah. So hello world is what we have. If you remember, it's what we have in our constructor in our contract. So that's why. So index starts from zero, and I want the numbering to start from one. So that's why we have this like this now. Okay. So at least we're able to get the first one. So to get the others now is when we're able to like send some more to the blockchain. Um, Yes, but anyways, that's not even the problem. So basically, is okay. So let me just take you back to the contract. So if you remember what we did here, in our constructor we have this hello world. So it's what we have here that is showing here now. That's the only message we have. So pending when we're able to like add some more messages to it, we won't be able to see other messages here. So quickly, let me just remove this for instance. Let me what do I want to do? Okay, I want to add this gen ID to it. So unfortunately, we are having wrong network because there is incompatibility. And because of that, we cannot send any transaction now, unfortunately. So until we're able to probably get a different network, yeah, we can have test token, network that is supported like Sepolia or Base. I think if I come to Wagmere and search for, I think Sepolia is there. Yeah, Sepolia is there, just that I didn't add it here. So if I add it here now, we'll see Sepolia in the list. We'll see Sepolia. Let me open this thing here. Miss something. Hmm, yeah, have you? I thought Polygon is Sepolia. Polygon optimism. Sepolia. Yeah, so by default, Sepolia is one of the supported networks. So and then Sepolia is also on MetaMask by default. And that is not really giving any issue. But oh, let me see. Let me see. I saw something. Expected this, got this. Let's try again. Still don't want to comply. So, well, as you can see on the log, could not add network that points to same RPC endpoints, blah blah blah. For chain this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And too bad. we are not really able to send this transaction because this is not supported yet. And then there were some conflicts of interest in this setup here as well. So, but we were able to deploy to ephemery testnet, and we were able to see our deployment here. And we were able to also read from the contracts, and we were able to get like we're able to read. That means we're able to see where's that? Yeah, we're able to get back this hello world from the contract, from the smart contract. So what we wanted to do was to send additional message to the contract and then get it back, the same way we are getting this one. But because of the network issues, network configuration issues we are having, we are not able to do that. So um in case you are trying this on your own, so as long as you can get the testnet token for any of these network you decide to work with, the same thing applies. The code hasn't changed. So the code still remains this to write to this to the contract and this to read from the contract. It's very simple and straightforward. So and you can get more other functions based on what you want to do from the WAGMI documentation itself. So these are just examples of how to interact with those methods. And yeah, I think we'll be ending this session here, Dami. I think I've taken way too long and I'm really sorry about that.
Okay, thank you very much for that time. At least we've learned a lot through debugging and the process and found out a lot about it. So,
Yeah.
would you be fixing another time for us to finish this?
Well, I don't think I'll be fixing another time, but if I'm able to walk navigate through this ephemery, I might just create a short video and post it on the channel for anybody to go check out.
Okay, all right, no problem. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I spent like 3 hours, 30 minutes, and everything was just going smooth, 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 smooth. Okay, so
Yeah.
um, this mark the end of our boot camp, right? So thank you all for joining. Thank you all for participating. We'll also be dropping the final project. So if you'll be interested in that, feel free to also reach out and check on it. Alright, so thank you for your time. Thank you for participating in this. See you all next time and bye.
All right, thank you very much. And so, like Dami said, it will be final project, and then this whole bootcamp will be nonsense if you don't practice everything you have been taught. So the way to go is to practice, is to do enough of the reading, enough of the talking. Just go and get your hands dirty by practicing, do the projects. We have different project ideas like decentralized rating system, token exchange, supply chain, any kind of app that comes to your mind, you can pretty much try your hands on them, trying to see how you can write the smart contracts, write the test, deploy it to an actual test net, follow what we did today in the class, and then you should be able to like interact with your smart contracts on the front end as well.
Okay, thank you, man. Alright, so bye everyone. See you guys again.
All right, thank you very much. Bye for now.